How nice is that, guys? Just going through some little channel. Oh, it's lovely, lovely. I love these areas where you just maneuver with your boat to get to your spot. That's awesome. As you can see, my rods are ready to go, and today's video will be about presentation only. Obviously, I hope that I will be able to catch and show you some fish whilst doing it as well, but still I will be talking a lot during this video how to catch fish and how to present in different situations, various tricks and that. Okay, I think I'm in my first spot. I think it's a good time to drop the anchor out. Very important tip when it comes to presentation. As you saw some fish somewhere topping, being chased or something, you want to cast to that spot immediately, guys. If it's within the reach, just reel in quickly and cast in that area, because there might be, some active fish or group of active fish, active predators, and if you will chuck your lure in front of them, they just might smash it immediately, You don't want to kind of ignore that opportunity. Not saying that it will work 100%, but I was retrieving, and still I had quite a few meters of retrieve left, but I just spotted a little fish movement to my left, well, right, that direction, and reeled in quickly and chucked in that area immediately. Lure fishing is all about, making those little opportunities to happen. You don't want to ignore anything. Some snag, was thinking it's a fish, but some snag. See, it did not work this time. I chucked there and nothing. Actually, most of the time it will be like that. But again, sometimes it will happen and you will get the takes on the drop, and it's just very, very rewarding, when you react quickly to something and it just happens. I mean, it's nothing new what I'm talking. You should be aware of that already, but if you aren't, so nothing wrong with me saying it again and again. So yeah, when lure fishing, you observe the water, and if you see some action, get on that action quickly, or as quick as you can. That must be a pike, guys. Very, very fast fish. Yeah, it is. Actually missed the lure. I think the lure was in the fish's head somewhere. Yeah. How is that even possible? Lucky for me that I have thick fluorocarbon. Hey. She's twisting like a crocodile. Crocodile Dundee. Yeah, that's a little bit unlucky actually. I will have to retie because that fish missed the lure and was twisting and turning and managed to get the braid, or to touch the braid actually. I don't know. 3-4 pounds. Thank you. Yes. When it comes to leaving the lure like motionless, like for example now I'm not doing anything. Obviously it works quite often and quite well, but you have to be in the right position, where the fish will be. If you are not too sure, this kind of presentation for me makes no sense, because you can't just be waiting, and wasting your time in wrong area. If you, as I say, it will be very good in winter when you know that you are in the right area in between the fish. But sometimes you can leave your lure for 10 seconds almost, and the fish will still eat it. But as I said, you must be in the right area in wrong area, that long pauses is just waste of time in my head. Obviously, if you start getting like small indications and not hooking anything, obviously you know that you have some fish around, then you can play with your presentation. Just to sum up this bit about motionless lures or motionless presentation, you must be in the right area where the fish are. If you can like judge that fish are there as if you are getting bites but not hooking them, then it makes sense to leave the lure for 10 seconds motionless and see if the fish will take it. Other than that, I don't really use that presentation too much. Picked up some stuff. Also, for that motionless presentation, floating lures, in my opinion, is the best ones to use, because if you think about it, your lure will be not like on the bottom, not visible, but it will be just standing, and if there will be like a bit of flow or something, it will wobble maybe or something, just like slowly wave or something, and it just might be what they want, Let's keep on going. Come on, you perch. Oh, hello, Mr. Swan. Did you come to listen to my mumbling about presentation for predators? No. He's just going past, ignoring us as if I weren't here at all. Minding his own business, I guess. Fish are minding their own businesses as well. They are stopped biting. Come on. Still using that, my favorite winter presentation, like small drags on the bottom, lots of wobbles. Sometimes you just wobble whilst you drag. That kind of thing. This presentation is very good for perch. I would say it's the best for Zander or like Pike. I think often, what was that? Mad ducks. They are mad. So they almost scared me. So as I was saying, for Pike and Zander, often the classic jigging will be better, like like jumps. So when the lure will be bouncing off the bottom. Even in winter, but for perch in winter, in my head, definitely dragging the lure on the bottom and introducing lots, as many really small twitches as you can is the best way to go. It must be a perch. How checking his head, it should be a perch or a small zed. I think I saw it, it's a perch. Yeah, nice one. Very, very nice. Close to 3 pounds, guys. Awesome. Yes, got him. Actually, yeah, easy 3 pounds, guys. How about that? Oh, spiked me again. Can't believe. Just as I was, spat out the lure. Loves this lure. Spiked me. Come on, you little, well, not that little, actually, you are a monster. Oh yeah, easy 3 pounds, guys. Might be close to, it won't be 4, but it will be 3.5 easy. Probably will take a wait a bit later. How about that? Yes! Decent shape as well. Okay, we'll keep it in the net. It's nice and safe. The water is very cold anyway, so yeah. Hopefully we'll get something more in next couple of checks. We'll never know. There might be more in this area. It was a nice little bite, like proper, not like aggressive one, but I felt like it was, you can tell immediately that decent fish, grabbed the lure. As you can see, now I am like using or incorporating presentation which involves floating lure. I mean, it does stand up on when the jig head is on the floor, and I never lift the lure off the bottom, but I do introduce lots of small movements, even though my lure is not really never off the bottom. As you can see, I always twitching and pulling, and I mean every or most of the action is introduced with a rod tip. I do not do something crazy with the reel. I know that some people do like to do like stuff with the reel. I prefer to do that with the rod. Obviously, I believe that with a rod you can feel a little bit better than, you know, just to do it with the reel. Come on, are there more of those big perch? Yeah, even though my lure is like even floating, but still it's active. It has an active tail. I will show you that lure in a sec. And also I have quite a fancy jig head as well. Picked up some weed. So see, it has a tail, like a paddle tail, and it wobbles quite well on the drop. And if I would want to have a different presentation, I would be able to achieve that with the same lure. That's great in my book. And also, as you can see, I have a very fancy jig head. It was simple round jig head. I kind of filed some of that lead away, so my jig head just falls if I need to, and always falls away from the angler, which is correct way. And also I glued some eyes. Very, very fancy jig head. And it's working already, a couple fish. 2 actually bites, 2 fish in the net, yes. Okay, let's keep on kind of hoping for better things to happen. So just observe my tip, guys. I don't have much more like to go in detail, but I always I rarely like leave it, you know, even though I could leave it, my lure would stand up anyway, but I always like to twitch like that. I mean, those twitches are, I mean, sometimes, for example, just observe my tip now. My lure actually is not moving. It's like it's in one place, but I introduced lots of small like jerks, and my lure is wobbling in one place, and kind of I believe that it drives the fish crazy, you know. So you're thinking that little thing is mad, I must eat it. So yeah. And I don't quite understand why people, you know, fish with the soft plastic lures in the middle of the water. There are other lures which are better for that, like cranks and minnows, you know, like hard lures. And if you are using, you know, like soft plastic, it's designed to be used in the bottom layers of the water. They do work the best there. So I kind of try to do exactly that, just drag my lure nicely on the bottom, very, very gently, with lots of like action on the lure still. Nothing now. Did not expect to catch such a nice perch that early in the session. Actually, I had that little pike, and then good perch shortly after that. Also, when it comes to the presentation, for example, as you can see, I have the bushes there, and it does not necessarily need to be bushes, but some area where you expect the fish to be. So what you do then, you choke as close to the bushes as possible, and then you kind of give your best shot to hook the fish quickly. I mean, you introduce lots of twitches at the start, lots of jumps. Really, the presentation you feel is best on that day. But then after you dragged your lure away a little bit from that feature, in this case that's the bushes, but it might be, you know, some jetty, boat or whatever. Once you dragged a little bit further from that area and you are more or less in open water, which is really makes no sense to have your lure there, then you just wind in quickly and repeat again. very, very close, chuck to the bushes, bang. And again, once the lure hits the bottom, as I have the floating one, I can leave my lure a little bit on the bottom as well, because it will be standing up. If some fish, was around and maybe a little bit further, maybe it will rush to it and still will take it after it did hit the bottom, after a couple seconds. Did not happen in this case, though. So, and then you give your best shot again to hook the fish. Like, really, 1-2 meters when you are away from that feature, that's it. You can reel in, quickly and repeat again. That's a killer tactic in my opinion, because you are very, very effective with your presentation, and you are effective with your presentation in a right way as well, like in the right place, should I say. So you are just maximizing your chances and not wasting your time. That's it. My lure is hooked some weed. My lure was far away from the bushes again, and I will repeat the process. And obviously you just go along the bushes if that's the bushes, but if that's long boat, you just check the area along the boat or along the jetty, just basically. But you want to maximize your chances. Obviously, as I am in the kayak, I will be able to park next to the bushes and chuck along the bushes. And then I will be able to have my lure along the bushes all the time, but that not always will be the case. Sometimes you just won't be able to get the boat or something like that. So to sum up this little trick, that's kind of just about making the best of the area you are at and being effective. I can quickly measure it actually from here. That's a 0, about 40, yeah, that's a 40, 50, so about 46 centimeters actually, 45 maybe, yeah, about 45 centimeters. Awesome, monster. Keep on growing, you beauty. You ready? Just look at that, guys. Just look at that. Yes. As you can see now, I'm in a different area where it's more murky. So obviously I will try with more aggressive presentation a little bit. Still using the same exact lure and rig and everything. Some kids are having fun, as you can see or hear. They are chucking some stones into the water. I mean, I don't mind, I don't care. What they are doing definitely won't affect the fishing. And the kids will have some fun, which is a win. That was a good stop. What is it? That's actually a perch. Nice. It's a good perch. Please don't come off. It's a good perch. Nice, nice, nice. Just hooked, please don't come off. Yes, got him. Just look at that, guys. And the hook came just shortly after that, when we landed that fish. Yeah, nice. Another 2 easy 2 pounds, guys. He's a tank. He's a little bit of a tank. Might be actually free, guys. Yeah, it might be free, guys. Lovely condition. Just look at that. Awesome. Thank you. I will keep it in the net. Yes. So I just had that bite from that perch, which I still have in the net, just by using aggressive or a little bit more aggressive presentation. So I think I will stay for a little bit longer, just like with a classic jigging, more or less, like bouncing the lure in sharp jumps. Because that perch took like after the lure hit the deck, more or less. So obviously it was attracted by the fall of my lure. So little bit weedy, but I will stick with a jig head. As you saw, that one just was hooked in the lip more or less, so can't risk losing fish or have missed bites by using offset really. And the weed again is not bad, it's just hard weed. It's time to go back for you, beauty. Man, probably it will be, or it might just be 3 pounds, I don't know. Let's quickly measure how long he is. If it's like 43 centimeters, I know, just over 40, just 41, 42, something like that. So 2.5, something like that. Thank you. Yes. Yeah, guys, I'm definitely losing the light. I have to stop filming, otherwise it will be just waste of time. I think I will stay a bit longer, maybe more 20 minutes or so. If I will catch something, I will pull out my bigger camera with a external light and will show you that fish. If I will catch something worth showing, you know, like a big perch or big zander, something big, well, at least decent. So yeah, I think I will turn my camera off because definitely I don't think that you can see anything. Some snags there. Yeah, okay. See you with a big fish in my hands or a little bit later when I will be driving home. Right, I'm all packed up. No more fish came out for me, and yeah, I felt a little bit hungry and cold and paddled back to my car. So to sum up, I hope you learned something, guys, and yeah, it just kinda, I know that you will say that I learned nothing by watching this video, but again, the presentation when it comes to lure fishing, there are no really right or wrong like types of presentation. What catches a fish, that's the right one. Of course, you just have to know the basics, that soft lures always needs to be presented on the bottom, and the colder it is, the slower should be retrieved. But that's that. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the next one.